Hello Raptors, my name is Paul Mills from Raptorium Core, and here we have Hunter Schultz, who is the head of production for Raptorium, and we are back for another Raptorium chain reaction video, and today we are talking about billion-dollar ideas. So what is today's billion-dollar idea, Hunter?
Well, I know one thing, it's going to involve assets. And guess what? This is the first show that assets are live. You're in Singapore,
Yep, I really am, yes. I'm definitely in Singapore, honest.
and I'm in Panama. It's raining out. Case of breeze. How exciting is that, huh? I mean,
It is awesome, yes.
it's a relief. It is a terrific relief. And today, we've talked about gaming in other like in updates and AMAs, and I know I've asked a few questions about it. But given that assets are live, they're a reality. Where's the billion dollar idea in that particular space?
Okay, so we use a lot of Telegram for running the Raptorium project. Even though the majority of users are actually on the Discord, we use Telegram because it's encrypted, and it's a lot more easier to manage the team and get things done through that way. But during that time, over the years, we've noticed, especially recently within the last maybe 6 months, we've seen that they've issued their Ton blockchain, which has been proven to be quite popular, and also they have a gaming aspect of the Telegram app now, where there's hundreds of different games, which can then be connected to the Ton blockchain and utilized through their asset system, which can populate games in a fairly instant way. But one of the a couple of the issues that I've seen, especially over the last couple of months with the Ton blockchain, yes, it is quick. Yes, it is in people's hands in the area where they're chatting, so that helps the situation. But they're using a couple of languages, and one of them is Tact for the Ton blockchain, which is a very new language, and also they're using something for their smart contracts to get all these asset transactions done called FunC, which is an extremely new language. And already over the
And the,
last
hand, the handwriting's on the wall. I hear it now. I can stay tuned.
already over the last couple of months, there's been various news reports talking about the exploits of hackers on the Ton chain. One of the big ones recently was they exploited USDT on the Ton chain. Now, USDT is one of the most important assets on possibly any blockchain, because it's what most things are paired with across DeFi spaces, and also across the marketplaces that the blockchain interacts with. So to have that exploited, that is something that is, to me, is worrying. And it comes down to the old Solidity story, where exploits are being found, and they're having to issue patches all the time for that. And that's again the same what I'm seeing right now on the Ton blockchain. Now, Raptorium can solve this issue because a lot of the the things that are needed to create assets and send assets, and have assets interact with the games, are actually all on chain. And what this means is, well, another word for it is it's on the protocol level. So all of those interactions with the chain are actually backed by the encryption of the network itself, and not by any risky code or smart contracts or anything that has not been tried or tested over many years already. So the billion-dollar idea would be to use Raptorium assets for these gaming interactions. And like I said, yes, Ton is quick, but if you were to see how assets are now interacting in your wallets, if you like, for example, if you were to send another asset to another wallet, you would see it there pretty much instantly. It's only needed for one block to clear, so that is, you know, quick enough for gaming environments to interact with the chain and to provide a positive experience for the end user. Now, what would be great to see now that we have assets live on chain is for you, the developers, or even, you know, regular community members, to create a platform where mobile games, even some of the mobile games that already exist, which have Wallet Connect built into them, can then interact, build a way for them to interact with the Raptorium blockchain, and you would know that it would be a lot more secure, a much more secure way of doing it, because obviously what I've talked about is the encryption of the chain. And also you would basically be creating a totally new market, fresh from the ground up. You could create a marketplace where gaming developers could issue their assets, which the end users could actually buy and sell, and then connect to their games. Now, when I'm talking about connecting to games, there's obviously a couple of different ways of doing it. One of the ways is a game could actually just read the wallet and, you know, say, yes, this person's got these assets, and that would populate into the game. But there's a bit of a risk with that, because if someone else has got the same wallet with the same assets, then you would need something in place to actually stipulate, well, you can't use those assets in this game because someone's already using that wallet address in this game. One of the ways around that is what Charlie's created is the Raptorium authentication system, or RAS, and that basically signs the wallet into the game, and then the game would know full well that you own that wallet and all the assets underneath it. And then another way of doing it is something that a team is currently in development, and we are soon to see the results of, and that is the Talon wallet. Now, the Talon wallet is basically the MetaMask version of the Raptorium blockchain. And the reason why it's important is because unlike MetaMask, which relies on EVM chains to operate and interact with its smart contracts, Raptorium doesn't have this. It has a UTXO model. So having something that has instant gratification of balances or transactions and things like that is something that would be paramount in a gaming environment. And the Talon wallet also has another quality to it, whereas it has the underlying glue which connects the Raptorium blockchain to, you know, websites or games or any other things around the world, such as, you know, marketplaces or whatever. It has that in place. So having something that's much easier to connect the end user to the game is something that's beneficial as well.
Excellent. That's huge. That is huge. What this you mentioned, I think you touched on scalability to some extent, but scalability is always something that the gaming industry, you have a popular game that goes nuts, and you know,
I think that's
you don't want it phoning home.
something I can open up as well. Solana is another big blockchain for gaming because it's quick, and again, instant gratification, almost instant gratification for things that happen on chain, which makes it great for interacting with games. The problem with Solana is, yes, it's a very fast chain, but that is a detriment to itself, because sometimes it can't handle the speed of the transactions on its own network. And as we've seen, over the last year or two, there's been a time where, it's been down for hours, and then there's been another time where it's been down for at least a couple of days, and something like that just simply cannot happen on a blockchain, especially when there's so many businesses and game developers and general automation is running on the chain. It loses billions and billions of dollars a day when that sort of thing happens. Then when we move on to Ethereum, as we've seen in the past as well, when there's been a lot of users crossing the equilibrium gas point, which brings gas right up, and people are competing for a block to fit their transaction in. Again, it's really unfit for a gaming environment. Even though there are games still using it now, it's unfit for that sort of environment due to the gas fees that are included in just a simple interaction with the chain. And again, that's on Solidity, which we could talk about, dubious code and all that, but we're not going to get into that. With Raptorium, we have something coming up called transaction decoupling. And what that means is the assets and the transactions can run on side chains, which are not clogging up the block of the main chain. And they are notarized to each block on the main chain as the blocks happen. So as more assets are created, the more side chains that run alongside the main chain. And this is all backed by the distributed smart node network that we have been building over the last couple of years now. We are now approaching 1,500 nodes, which is absolutely incredible. So this is how we've solved the scalability issue. And with with instant gratification in the wallets that you're seeing right now with assets, I think it's a perfect fit for games. And I think people should start looking to the Raptorium blockchain to solve this issue, to solve the security issues, and to have more confidence in the blockchain that they're interacting with, to provide a good experience for the end user.
Sounds like $1 billion idea to me. And hey, even if it's not $1 billion, it turns 500 million. There are a lot of people who take 500 million. $500 million goes a long way these days still.
Yeah.
So very good. Very good. I like it. Great summary too. And there you are.
And there we are. Big thank you for everyone that's tuned in to watch today's Raptor Chain Reaction, where we talk about billion-dollar ideas. Hope you're all enjoying the new assets code as we are. We've been creating all sorts of things.
And the video.
And the video, yeah.
And we'll link it. We'll put the link in the description if you have not seen our assets release video, which we spent a lot of time on.
Yeah.
And it's epic. It was a lot of fun doing.
It was a lot of fun, and we premiered it out, and it took us some time to make it, but I think it gets the point across. Old into the new, old into the new. That's what it's all about. If you're not already following us on X, please check us out at Raptorium and give us a follow. We're also on TikTok as well. That's at Official Raptorium. And please give this video a like at the bottom, and click the subscribe button with a little bell to be kept up to date with any more Raptor Chain Reaction videos, CryptoSmith videos, weekly updates, AMAs, or any other cool things that the Raptorium blockchain are doing. I've been Paul Mills.
I'm Hunter Schultz.
And we'll see you later.
Ciao.